So I want to tell y'all something. These people tried to kill me again today, or somebody tried to kill me. But so I took my girlfriend to work, and I'm coming back home, driving down Dam Neck. I'm taking a left on Dam Neck to turn on Harper's. There's all these people in front of me who are also taking a turn, going the same way. So I couldn't see past them, but the last person takes a turn, and then when he does, it reveals the oncoming traffic that I need to yield to and wait for to, I could take the left turn. I see this truck in the background, but I see that there's enough distance to go with them and take the turn. So when I went to take the turn, the truck suddenly began to increase its speed. Um, he went from being like back there to like now he's coming, bro. Like he's coming. I could see the front end of his truck um, lifted up. Um, I could hear his engine redlining, so he was stepping on it. And this was like a huge, like 8,000 pound, like heavy duty truck, flying towards me, like trying to hit me on purpose. Maniac. I didn't even cut this guy off in even the slightest. Like I didn't even the distance that I had to turn if he was actually doing the speed limit, which it appeared he was at first. I didn't see him passing other cars or anything. I could see other cars in relation to him, and it didn't seem like he was zooming past them or anything, and that I should just wait. It didn't seem, that he was coming fast, so I went for it. But when I went for it, he suddenly like floored it. I mean, it's a long turn. You got to go across 2 lanes. There's a half of the median there. It's a very long left turn. If you know what I'm saying, like you could slide through that turn. It's a very long left turn. It's not a short one. It's a long one because of the way the road is structured. So yeah, he stepped. He had plenty of time to step on it and try to hit me on purpose with his vehicle. So I tried to give it some gas to get the fuck out of there to avoid the collision. I mean, why would I throw myself in the middle of like an oncoming collision like that? I saw him and I went for it because I see there was enough distance. No, he stepped on it, bro, and tried to hit me when I was still in the middle of the street passing through. Um, I had the car in eco mode, so when I tried to step on it, I didn't step on it, but I gave it, enough gas to just get out of there real quick. It didn't go nowhere. It didn't downshift because it was in eco mode. So I mean, he almost hit me. Like as soon as I got in the turn, as soon as he passed me, I could hear his engine red line, and I'm like, yo, this dude he just tried to fucking hit me. And I think that the vehicles in front of me possibly could have been a setup by the gang stalkers so that I couldn't see what was coming. I think it's possible that the whole thing was a setup, and I think that they were doing that in retaliation for the way that I drove today. A little spiritedly, I wasn't, but not speeding. But upon approaching this intersection, um, the light suddenly turned yellow as I was like, right, I'm not gonna slam on my brakes, you know. When I crossed the intersection, it was technically red. I guess right when I crossed it, there's no camera light there or anything, but I'd say so. But I mean, I think they were angry about that I made it, that it was little things were popping up like that were making it difficult to follow me for them. So I think that they know that I come back, at least, even if whether I go to Ship's Corner or I go to Dam Neck, it still trickles down back into the Dam Neck either way. It's where you got to take a left on this Harper's, unless you want to go all the way around, like 3 miles around, 4 miles around, and take Harper's from Oceana and go down General Booth and all that. But they know my routes. They know which ways I'm coming and going, and I feel like that they had this guy waiting there to do this. Um, and I mean, he almost hit me. That was, and if he would have hit me, that would have been most likely very, very possibly a very good possibility of being fatal or seriously injuring. The car would have been totaled for sure, um, but definitely could have been fatal. Especially in the angle that if he would have hit me, would have been. I mean, that would have been really bad. Uh, and he did try to do it on purpose. The maniac tried to do it on purpose. So I'm just documenting that. I mean, if I end up dead or something, because these people finally succeeded in killing me, and they do come and try to um, unlive me from time to time. And they usually their favorite way to try to do that is to try to make it look like a horrible car accident. Once in Jamestown, as I was leaving my dad's house, there's a gentleman that was walking down the street. As soon as I exited the door, he looked at me and said, "I'm the last person you'll ever see." And then he walked away, and he wouldn't say anything when I followed him down the street to try to talk to him. He just was deaf to me on purpose. So I got in my car and pulled up the street right after that, and it was like 11 o'clock at night. It was, it was quiet. And usually I have my music up loud because it was late at night. I turned it down, so I could hear like this loud engine coming, and there was this truck, this black truck. It was like lifted kind of. It was like a really big truck. It was like a big SUV, like heavy duty, like expedition or something, like Denali, like suburban, like something like a big like SUV, and it was lifted up a little bit, and it was modified, and he had his headlights off on purpose. I think that they were hoping that I would, because they did notice when I got my license again that I didn't always look when I went, and things like that. I think they took note of that, and that's how they caused the first accident. I think that they were hoping that that would happen again. And thankfully, I didn't have my music on loud, so I could hear him coming, his engine, his exhaust. So I didn't pull out. He was going like 80 miles an hour, like in a 40, 35. It was a 35. No, actually, in Jamestown, in New York, they don't have 35s. It was a 30. So he was going like 80 something in a 30. I mean, he was flying. From my relativity of him, the sound of his engine, screaming in full acceleration, wide open throttle, the movement of his vehicle, and in relation to everything else, it was just still, how quickly he covered distance. The guy was flying. He was going like 80 miles an hour or something, at least 60, but I would say more like 80. He was flying. And if I would have pulled out, that probably would have been fatal. And that's what that guy had meant when he said, "I'm the last person you'll ever see." I think that was a planned attempt on my life right there. And that's their favorite way to try to kill me, is to try to stage like some horrible car accident, or they'll mess with my car, take air out the tires, like one down to 9 psi, loosen lug nuts, brake caliper bolts. You access the brake calipers with the car on the ground with a wrench, things like that. One time they tried to actually put glue on my gas pedal, so they were hoping that when I went to take my foot off the gas, that it was stuck to it, and then I couldn't put my foot on the brake, so that would cause an accident. Hopefully, a cheap attempt, but they tried. They did it. I'm like, what's this shit on my foot? Like, what's this glue on my foot on the gas pedal, bro? Shit like that, bro. They broke it into my car. I got pictures of it. Threw all my items everywhere. There's a taser, all kinds of weapons and stuff in there, money. They didn't steal it. Took my wife's bank account information neatly, put it in the, I mean, it was a targeted break-in, just to let me know, hey, we were in your car. Took everything in the glove box. They didn't steal anything. Stuff that a normal thief would steal. And then when you post about it online, when you use YouTube as a point of reference to document this and make videos, and what's the first person that people usually do when they're being stalked? They usually run and they yell. They gather other people's attention. That's typically what, like, say a woman would do. They're being stalked by some creep, So that's what we're doing. And then they have the same people that are involved in this, and they do it online. And then they come and they gaslight you and try to influence and spread propaganda to other people. Don't listen to him. He's crazy. This is all paranoia, and people become susceptible to that. Like, what if he is, and so the real reason to do that is that so nobody listens, so that we could kill this guy and nobody cares about him. Nobody watches him. Nobody takes him seriously. So when we do come to make our move, he'll be completely defenseless and vulnerable, and nobody will care about him, and it'll be easy to do. So I knew something didn't feel right in the air. I could feel it. I didn't bring my phone with me. I mean, I didn't bring it with me, but I could feel that something was wrong. And I noticed that there's a lot of police involved in this, meaning that if they'll hit you with the criminal way, and then if you respond in a criminal way, then they'll hit you with the police, even though the police never did anything about it to begin with. But once you respond to it in a criminal way, then they get the police involved. And the police are the ones doing this the whole time. That's why you're not getting any help from them on this. That's why when you call them, they show up. Even when they vandalize, when there's clear property damage, they look at you and they're like, what do you want us to do? And then they'll come by and honk the horn right when you and the responding officer, are looking at the damage of the car. And the cop won't even care. You learn not to call the cops when it comes to this. It's the cops doing it. There's some corruption in the police department where, I'm not saying it's the cops doing it. I'm saying that there's some corruption going on in the police department where if you do try to complain or something about this, it finds its way into their hands. And I'm not saying it's all the cops, that it's, the entire Virginia Beach or Jamestown Police Department or Virginia State Police or New York State Police had it out for me. But it's certain people within them that are helping and assisting and making sure that these people are given the green light to do this. It's the government doing this. It's a corrupt form of our government doing this. So when I say it's the police doing this to me, I'm not saying it's the Virginia Beach, I got a problem with you, Mr. Newdigant, you're directing your officer. I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the corruption, the gang stalking within our government, within our corrupt government that's facilitating this and making sure that the administration of law is not being applied when it comes to me and to other targets. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, they definitely tried to kill me again today. I mean, it could have just been some random maniac that was... I mean, I didn't do anything to him. I didn't cut him off. I don't know if he's having a bad day, if he's suicidal, homicidal. I don't know. But based off of everything, the totality of the circumstances of everything that's occurring, the following, the harassment online, the real life things like I've mentioned earlier, the attempts to kill me before, I'm definitely placing the blame on them that they tried to kill me again. So If I end up dead, guys, you guys will know that they're gunning for me. And I definitely felt that. I felt like, I just felt, how do I explain it when I went out today? Because sometimes I go out and I feel like, oh, everyday life, you know, the beauty of nature, the wonders of fall, how beautiful Virginia Beach is, just a normal day without their negative influence around you. And then sometimes you go out and it's like a dark and scary world. Like, you feel this energy just like is boxing you in. You feel this negativity around you, and then something like this happens. So, don't let anybody gaslight you. Don't let anybody make a mockery of the truth, God's truth, that he's trying to convey to you, the higher energy. Don't let anybody make a mockery of that and turn like the tarot into a deck of playing cards. Trust your intuition, trust your gut instinct, use your third eye. It could help you. It could keep you alive. Not trusting your third eye, sometimes when it comes to things like this, could cost you your life. With that being said, I'm out. Stay safe, everybody.